Doing some specific core strength and flexibility exercises off the bike can really help all cyclists and improve their performance on the bike as well. So it's worth setting some time aside 2 or 3 times a week to concentrate on them.
But with so many different exercises out there, it can be difficult to know which one to choose. But help is at hand. Here are 5 core exercises that we think are best for cyclists. Squats, a real obvious one for cyclists as it recruits many of the same muscles that you do out on the bike. So first things first, Dan, you stand, feet roughly shoulder width apart or maybe a little bit more, and then lower yourself down by your knees while simultaneously raising your arms straight out in front of you. But most importantly, you need to keep your back nice and flat, just as Dan is doing here. Now this sort of exercise you can do in different sorts of repetitions. First off, it's best to start nice and slow, nice and gradual, but then you can increase the pace and make it more explosive. And this is the sort of exercise that can help sprints or really short, fast, intense efforts.
Okay, this next exercise is a variation on the plank, which I'm sure most of you will have heard of. So prop yourself up with your forearms planted on the floor, directly forwards, elbows at 90 degrees, and then your toes planted on the floor at the back. And then get a friend to make sure that your body is as flat as it possibly can be. Now here is the variation on it. Matt is now going to lift up 1 foot at a time, keeping his leg completely straight, raising it about 6 inches off the floor and holding it there for about 5 seconds before swapping legs. This is really going to work all the core muscles, which are key for stabilising you on the bike. This next one, again, is going to help strengthen the abdominal and lower back muscles, which is going to help us in a number of ways. So Matt's going to put his hands palm down on the floor, knees and feet there too. And next, he's going to raise one arm and the opposing leg until his whole body, or that arm and that leg and his trunk, are almost completely horizontal and straight. Hold it there for 5 seconds before swapping to the other arm and the other leg. Now, strengthening the core like this is going to help in a number of ways. Firstly, it will help make sure that you keep your upper body nice and still and stable, even when you're going quite hard on the bike, so that all the power transfer is going out through your legs and not wasted by bobbing around. Secondly, it will also help address some imbalances, which all of us cyclists will get from spending hours and hours hunched over the bike.
Because we use our glutes so much in cycling, many of us can become really tight in that particular area. So this exercise will really help reduce tension. So first up, sit on the floor and then cross one leg over the other, keeping the foot on the floor. And with the other hand, bring your knee in towards your chest whilst twisting your body out to the side. Now hold that particular position for between 10 and 20 seconds before then switching legs. The lunge is really going to work your gluteal muscles, which is where you get a lot of power from when cycling. So first up, standing position, then take a big step forward, whilst at the same time raising your hands or arms in the air. Now, your left knee should not quite touch the floor, but almost do it. At the same time, try and keep your back as straight as possible and make sure the forward knee doesn't extend past the toes. Now, all the way through this exercise, you should really start to feel those glutes firing off. And again, experiment with the amount of time you keep in the lower position if you find it starts to get a little bit too easy.
So there you go, 5 fairly simple exercises, which, if done regularly, should really help you on the bike, as well as preventing injury as well.
Yes, indeed. But for how to use a foam roller, how about clicking just up here?
We've also got a great video which is yoga for cyclists, which you can find just down there.
And to subscribe to GCN, don't make the mistake now of clicking on me and Dan. No, click just the little box just there.
Why have they changed it to that box?
I don't know. I quite like doing that though.
Well, people
quite
probably
nice.
like clicking on us.
That's another little core exercise. Just doing that.
Don't forget to do it the other way as well, in case you get an imbalance.